Our next speaker is little Brianna Fry. Go ahead, Bree.
Hi, Bree.
Brianna Fry just had to move out of her home on the Gulf. Just had to leave Pensacola because her parents care very much about how she grows up. And her mom and dad have lived there most of their lives, between the two of them. And so they're staying in Nebraska right now, and that's just not where they thought they'd be bringing up Bree. So I want to take this time to introduce to you Rick and Lynn Fry, who have left the Gulf for their health and safety. And Rick is going to knock your socks off. This guy spends almost all of his waking hours, sometimes to his wife's chagrin, staying on top of everything. And for a guy who doesn't have a college education, I would bring him on as a research assistant in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and Lydia was actually kind enough to take us into her home in Nebraska. When the rig blew, I didn't really realize that it was going to be that big a thing. I felt terrible for the families and what happened, but I didn't realize I should pray for my own family as well. The more I started researching into it, the more I started finding just really horrible things. And the more I researched and I kept posting about it, I started seeing my stories become national news 2 weeks later. BP actually challenged my page on copyright infringement, saying that I wasn't part of their company, so how could I talk? And again, our pages were shut down today. You have to forgive me, I've never given a speech before, so what better place than right here? There's no pressure here at all. Anyway, one of the first things I found was that poor exit would be in the rain. So I began to watch it. I had just started to do a garden this year, and I noticed that all my plants had begun to get spots on them. And some of the stuff that Kendra found was that the rain was full of a lot of heavy metals, and that while each individual rain didn't actually contain so much heavy metal to be over the EPA standards, we were getting rained on every single day. So the cumulative effect of all that rain started burning holes in all of my plants. Well, I posted it online, and they said, well, maybe it's just a fungus. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Well, when I went an hour east, I found the same thing on all the plants over there. So we ended up evacuating. My wife had to leave behind her son. He lives with his dad. We're still trying hard to get him to look at the information. We had to give up our dog along the way in Alabama. Some people took her because we couldn't.
It's all right.
Take your time, bro.
Yeah. Take your time.
We got you back.
Love you, Rick. Love you.
We couldn't take the dog. We love our dog. We knew it would be too hard to travel with a dog and a baby. It was really for my baby. I didn't want to leave my family. Most of my family, Lynn's family kind of understands. Most of my family doesn't really understand why we left yet. But my daughter's got developing lungs. And I can't have my daughter being sprayed like a cockroach because our government's not doing anything about it. This really is just a puppet show that they put on. That's why I didn't yell at the White House yesterday. To me, when I see people arguing over Republican and Democrat, it's honestly like a step above teenage girls arguing over which one of those Twilight guys are like better. I have no respect for either one of those people. They're both bought and paid for. The people I want you to understand about is everybody's up here complaining about BP. BP is owned by J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan owns the controlling interest in Nalco as well. J.P. Morgan owns GE, which owns the NBC. The well that blew the other day is owned by Mariner Energy. Apache is doing a deal to buy Mariner Energy, and guess who's financing the deal to finance Apache? You got it. Every step of the way in this, J.P. Morgan is behind it. That's who you need to boycott. That's who you need to be pissed off at. They're the ones that pull the strings. Everybody else in this is just, if we boycott BP, that's fine, and BP might go out of business. And some other oil company will buy them up and do the exact same thing. J.P. Morgan was Obama's biggest contributor. everything that you get mad about, whether it's the Federal Reserve, every single bit of it goes back to people like this. J.P. Morgan, the banks that are behind it, the banks that play with your economy, that destroy your purchasing power. That's your enemy, J.P. Morgan. Just if I make any difference here, please understand that. It's not BP, it's J.P. Morgan Chase. The other thing I want to talk to you about is on May 24th, they reported that oil was in the loop current and about to enter the Gulf Stream. And from May 24th on, it disappeared from the internet, from the news. They have not talked about it ever since. Right now, dead fish are washing up all along the eastern seaboard because oil and core exit are in the Gulf Stream. I was just informed before I came on this stage that 18 dolphins just washed up in Delaware and 3 whales. So you tell me, do you believe that's really hot spots? No. Or is it oil?
Oil.
Exactly.
Correction.
You got it. It's been corrected the whole time. That stuff is illegal in other countries, and they're telling you, well, they don't know. We have to do more science. Every time one of these dead fish wash up, officials say they're baffled. Well, I mean, I can explain it to you. If you're not that well good an official, you don't understand that well. Just contact me, and I'll let you know, because it's core exit. I just hope that you understand that. I know this is a fearful time, and I know people get worried about this and scared, but you shouldn't be scared. You are the power in this government. You are the people. Don't be afraid of these people. They want you to not talk. Your biggest weapon against these people is information. The more you educate yourself and the more you educate other people, you will change things. I mean, I'm from Gulf Breeze, Florida. I'm just a dude with a crappy laptop. And BP has challenged my page, took my page down. Now I'm in front of the Capitol speaking. You can make a difference. You have to be one in your community. You have to take the charge in your community, even if it's just your family, even if it's just one person listens to you. Do it. Go research it. Don't believe a word I say, but don't believe anything the corporate media tells you either. Because 5 corporations own every single thing that you hear on TV, that you read in the newspaper, that you hear on the radio, and they are all controlled by the same oil companies, the same financial people behind this whole mess. The media is owned. You have to be the media. So that's all I really need to tell you. Everybody have a good day. Thanks for coming out. Nervous.